Hey everybody, welcome to a special edition of Mark Goes Hiking. Huge shout out to As the Crow Flies Hiking for putting on an absolutely stunning event, the Alabama Triple Crown, this past week. Just got back from that a couple days ago. It was a great event, a great hike. Alabama trails are stunning. If you ever get a chance to go backpack in Alabama, make it a priority. It's definitely worth it. But this video is a little different. The audio is quite poor, the background noise is heavy, and the editing is limited. And this is why. The first night on trail, the first night of the Triple Crown, we were hosted by the Pinhoti Outdoor Center. They have shuttling for the Pinhoti Trail, they have a hostel in the back, and they have a supply store in the front. Not a lot of supplies, but they've got some good swag, some shirts, some stickers, a lot of information. It's a really phenomenal place. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram, the Pinhoti Outdoor Center. So this video is about our night there. And it was the highlight of my trip. Absolutely. The trails were great, but there was something about this evening that was really special. We had a special guest, Nimblewill Nomad was there, and he spoke to us a bit about his experience on the Appalachian Trail this past year. And there was also a lot of great information about the relationship between the Appalachian Trail and the Pinhoti Trail that I think is worth listening to. There's a lot of background noise from the rain that was just downpouring on the non-insulated roof. And the speaker was a quiet speaker. So the audio is not great. I apologize for that, but the content is gold. So I hope you enjoy a video about my experience, the limited experience at the Pinhoti Outdoor Center, and I really hope you enjoy the content of those speaking. So sit back and enjoy and get your listening ears on because you're going to need them a little bit. Thanks for viewing, everybody, and I hope you enjoy the video. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.
2020 after a great year of everything going wrong. But yeah, this is all the wood you see on the walls. We have from trees that we took down on the property and processed those. We actually built our beds too in the hostel area out of that. Mr. Nimblewill Nomad made this sign for us. This hand painted, hand routed sign.
Wow, he did all that.
Yeah, beautiful. Just highlighted the POC for us.
Yeah. I put them unlisted on YouTube and sent them out to all these guys and said, hey, would you like to come do this? And so that was like eight months ago.
Yeah.
That was a while ago. Yeah. And then it just started rolling, and we got Wisconsin, we got Minnesota, we got North Carolina.
At one point, I think we had 30 people in the group that were potentially coming. So
we wanted it to be kind of like Michigan was. We wanted 3 loops, 3 days, 3 trails, 20 miles apiece.
And after this, we
I can smell out there. And like he walked out of there, I was like, oh my gosh, what did you do? I'm like, I can't smell it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Pass that around. See what it is. The last day of my hike, I completed my hike in Dalton, Massachusetts. I did some flipping around, and I ended my hike at the front porch. Those of you who hike in AT, the trail goes through Dalton, through a residential area right down on the sidewalk. There's a fellow lives on that street. I just got to be good friends with Tom Lavardi, and I got a hold of Tom and I said, Tom, it looks like I'm going to end my hike out in the middle of nowhere, pretty much on a little dirt road. I'd really like to end my hike somewhere else. How about your house? And he said, yeah. So a fellow by the name of Graybeard was a record holder, the oldest person to through hike the Appalachian Trail. Graybeard encouraged me. We've become dear friends. I'll be spending the weekend with him over in Chattanooga at the film festival. He drove 2 solid days. He lives in a little suburb north of Memphis, and he drove 2 solid days to get up to Dalton. And he was standing, I'm an old man, so I get emotional. He was standing on the steps of Tom Lavardi's porch. And I turned from the sidewalk and walked up to Tom Lavardi's porch. And I took my last step to complete my 3rd Appalachian Trail through hike. He was standing there, and he handed me this stick as a symbol of transferring from him to me, being the oldest through hiker ever on the Appalachian Trail. I've had some emotional times in my life because I'm an old man. Some of them I can remember quite well, and this one I'll never ever. The hike this year, I can understand why. I didn't want to let Graybeard just go and fade into the sunset because I'd taken his record away. And he was such a kind and gentle and gracious man to me. I said, let's do this, Graybeard. I said, and it's not a big deal and it's not going to take much effort, but I said, what do you think about starting a new club? And he said, what are you talking about? I said, well, I'd like to start a new club, and I'd like to talk to you about that. Maybe we can do something with it. We're going to call it the Appalachian Trail Through Hikers Octogenarian Club. And right now, it just turns out that there's only 2 people that can. So we have this new club, and I'll be spending the day tomorrow with Graybeard, having a great time. I said, well, what about the AT? You going back on the AT, Graybeard? He said,
So your records say?
well, Billy Goat was interested in going out and taking a whack at it. He had a really kind of a bad first day. But he's okay. We spent the weekend with Billy Goat down at Billy Goat Day in Florida. To celebrate his 83rd birthday, and he's going to be all right. So I don't know. I'm hoping. Graybeard encouraged me. I encouraged Billy Goat. We need to get some more members in this octogenarian club, one way or the other. I tell my friends I'm a little slow. Being an old man up, I'm just going to go with that. I'm a little slow. I was into this hike about 2 months, maybe 60, 70 days into it. And I was having a particularly tough, very difficult day. But 3 days, I had a 3-day running streak. I was on the trail, 262 days. I had a 3-day running streak, the longest time that I hadn't fallen. So I fell almost every day, some days multiple times. So the last 500 miles of this hike, the last 50 days, and then on the other end, about 2 months into it, I had a very difficult day. I fell down quite a few times. It was raining, nasty cold. I banged up my elbows and knees again and again. And I had a revelation. Man, this thing I stopped. The Nimblewill, my God. You know what? There's a reason why 80-year-olds ain't doing things. Well, I'm up on Flag Mountain. Flag Mountain is the southernmost mountain in the Appalachian Mountain Range. Pass these around here. Cattle, person out there. Thank you, sir. Notice what it says on the bottom of that sticker. You guys are handing stickers out. I'm not handing stickers out. I'm caretaking Flag Mountain. Been there going on 4 years now. And Flag Mountain is the southernmost mountain to stand above 1,000 feet in the Appalachian Mountain Range. So it's arbitrary, but we've designated, and symbolically we call Flag Mountain the southernmost mountain in the Appalachian Mountain Range. We have a really nice old civilian conservation corps complex there. We've got a beautiful complex of trails around the mountain. And at the beginning of the Appalachians, we have a trail that begins on Flag Mountain, and that is called all the way there from Colorado. Who was coming to come all the way from Colorado?
They hiked in Colorado. We got Wisconsin, Michigan.
Okay. Anyway, it's the beginning of the Pinhoti Trail there also. So you got the mountain start and you got the trail start. And people come to greet me and I get to talk with them, and so I'm getting boosted and I'm getting my energy back, and I think I'm going to be all right. But the Pinhoti Trail, do you want to go into this?
Well, I want to know why you started your hiking, because you didn't start at Springer this year. So why did you start it and where you did?
Well, this was my third through hike of the Pinhoti Trail. I hiked it in '98, mostly a bushwhack for a good part of it. I hiked it again in 2000. The southernmost extent of the Pinhoti when I hiked it 23 years ago was Porter Gap. So everything from there to Flag, over Rebecca and all that, none of that was there. It was all bushwhack and road walking. So this time I had an opportunity to actually walk instead of pushing my pack ahead of me through the laurel beds. They had ribbons tied on them where the trail was going to go.
Yeah.
But primarily I did this hike to have a fresh awareness, because I'm telling everybody how great the Pinhoti Trail is, so why the hell don't you go out there, old man, and hike and find out if that's true. So I hiked it this year, primarily to bring recognition and awareness to the Southern Appalachians. Flag Mountain is Southern Appalachians. Springer Mountain is not Southern Appalachians. So that paid off really well. We were able to talk to hikers all along. The reason I got to talk to all the hikers on the trail this year was because they were passing. And most of them would slow down long enough for me to tell them about a place called Flag Mountain, Pinhoti Trail in the Southern Appalachians. And there's a hell of a bunch of them got a good dose of what is commonly called now and familiar pretty much to everyone. And you'll get a little bit of it tonight maybe. It's called Nomad's Poison. So all the great happy people that were blowing north from Springer Mountain, I reminded them and told them and explained to them, you have not hiked the Appalachians anywhere near the Appalachians. You've done a little chunk in the middle when you get done with your hike. You're going to have to come down to Flag Mountain and start with a mountain start and hike that. So
I want to bring up another topic, and I don't know how this crowd is going to take this topic. Y'all can record it, delete it, whatever you want to do. There is a movement in the hiking world to move the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail into Alabama, on top of the Pinhoti.
Yeah.
We are totally against it.
Oh no. Okay. Never mind.
Yes. There's a lot of reasons. 20 years ago, we might have said, okay, that probably sounds good. But we don't. And Sonny feels the same way I do. And a lot of people that are associated with the Pinhoti, we feel like there's a couple of things it would do. One, it would take away the Pinhoti's identity.
Right.
And we would now fall under the ATC and all the political mess, and we really don't want that. We want the Pinhoti to grow organically, and we want to stay our own trail. We do want to promote that as part of the Appalachian Mountains, but we don't want it to be part of the Appalachian Trail. So we're going to be starting petitions, and I'd like as much support as we can. Obviously I'm not going to sway your decision or your thoughts, but we really feel strongly that it needs to stay where it's at. There's just kind of give you an idea, the group that's making this movement, they want to move the southern terminus to Cheehaw. They want to ignore the first part of the Pinhoti and move it to Cheehaw simply because they say it's the highest point. They also say, falsely we believe by research, that Benton McKay wanted it in Alabama. There is no record of that. If anything, he wanted it to go to Atlanta. There is a map that he was part of that shows a offshoot to Birmingham. That's a road. It's or an extension road for travel. You know, that was back before interstates, right? So there was that's what they're basing that on. So it's not a historical, you know, valid point to say let's do this because that's what Ben Mackay wanted. But they're going to use that, and I feel it's truly a money grab because they think they can make a lot of money off of this. But we're not. We're very much against it. We really think that Pinhoti can continue to grow on its own and be its own trail. So I'd like for y'all to think about that when it starts coming up and help us, because we're going to put a big effort into fighting this if we have to at a lot of different levels and angles.
Any of you who may have misgivings or thoughts about what our opinion is, please come and talk to me. After we get down here, I'm not going to go into great detail now. Basically, Pinhoti has a wonderful identity now. I was amazed at people I met along the trail all the way to the time this year who have heard about the Pinhoti Trail. Oh, my buddy told me, I'm going down there next summer. They're showing up and they're coming down to hike. This movement, if successful, is going to basically destroy the Pinhoti Trail as far as its own identity. It's going to ruin the whole southern half of the Benton Mackay Trail. From where the Pinhoti touches into it, there you can see on the map where the Pinhoti ends at Benton Mackay, so it's going to obliterate the entire identity of the Benton Mackay Trail in the southern half of it. Those of you who have hiked the AT or spent any time on the southern aspects of the Appalachian Trail, you can see what that treadway looks like. The approach trail is not so bad. Once if you park in the parking lot there, the cross trail parking, and you walk that mile up there, it used to be beautiful duck and dirt trail. It's nothing but just pure rocks and roots. And that goes north for miles. It goes clear up in all the way up to Pennsylvania rocks, and you got nothing on some of the trail anymore. So we don't need that over here, and we'd like to have more people come, and we'd like to have more people enjoy the experience that we have and that you're having, but I'm surprised they haven't set a daily departure quota from Springer Mountain. They've done it on the PCT. You got to sign up, and they'll tell you what day you can go and what hour, whatever day you can go. And I'm amazed that they haven't done that on the AT. They had 3,000 or 4,000 people started the true hike, attempted the true hike to the AT from Springer Mountain. We don't have people hanging from the trees up there. We just don't need that thing. So I don't want to belabor it, but we're certainly opposed to it. We'd like to see the Pinhoti continue in gaining respect and recognition. But,